What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Gentlemen, I have a question for you. Why do you men get with a woman, stay for a long time, but never marry her, but you same men will go and marry a woman who you just met? A woman asked this question on a panel, and we're about to listen to how that went. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
I asked this question earlier, but I would like to know why you all will allow a woman to give you everything that you claim you need.
I can't let you go there because you're getting ready to be a victim. It's your choice. It's boundaries. It's your choice.
Wait a minute. Wait, no. I haven't even asked the full question.
Okay, but you say let's rephrase it. Why is it that when a woman gives you everything you say you need, because then we're taking responsibility for our behavior.
Okay, because I do take responsibility.
Okay.
Everything
So when a
that
woman
happened to me was my fault. I get that.
It's not fault, it's a lesson. But anyway, when a woman gives you everything you think, look, she done got an attitude with me. I ain't even a man.
I don't have an attitude with you.
Well,
it's just,
then,
I do take responsibility for my past relationships.
Take a breath.
Take a breath.
Take a breath.
Oh, man. Yo, it's a good thing she caught her there because she was going to say the things you men say you want. And she looked out. Let's keep listening.
Okay, so what is the question?
I would like to understand why in a relationship, a man will stay with a woman for a great length of time and I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong word again, but that lady will do everything they ask for and they'll never marry her, but they'll meet someone and marry them in 6 months to a year. Okay, and that lady has not done half of what the other woman has.
I'm going to let you answer. Who wants to answer that?
That's a question a lot of women have, man. I hear this question all the time. Let's keep listening.
And let you answer that. But here's what I want to offer you. This is classic of when we go into a relationship and give to get. You're giving in order to get, as opposed to being in order to love and grow. That's why you don't get it. Gentlemen, why would you stay in a relationship with a woman who's giving you everything and then leave that relationship and marry someone who's giving you nothing?
When you're in a relationship with someone, it's about give and get. But when you're in a relationship with somebody and you think you're giving him something that he needs and he didn't tell you he needs it, you're providing something that you think that he wants, not something that he needs.
He hit it right on the nail. He hit it right on the nail. This is a pretty common scenario where you have guys who will leave these long-term relationships and get married like that really quickly. And they'll get married and they'll be very sure that the woman that they're with is the woman who they want to marry. And women are left thinking, well, I wonder why he didn't marry me. He was just using me, etc. And it has to do with two things. Number one is, I don't think most women who are that first chick who they just have the long-term relationship with, I don't think they're usually very realistic. Oftentimes, that first chick is the type of woman who she's the one who's begging for the ring and begging for the marriage and bringing it up when you as the man have not mentioned it at all. If the man's not mentioning marriage and when you bring it up, he's trying to avoid the conversation, there's your sign. But what do those women do? Well, they'll start giving you ultimatums. They'll start counting down. And do people get married with ultimatums? It happens. And the response from that man is usually like, hey, you know, I do plan to get married, etc. But in most cases, the women who are giving ultimatums and they're reminding the guy that they're dating for marriage, there's your sign right there that the guy doesn't want to marry you. Why are you allowing yourself to stay in that relationship? The other thing is exactly what that man said at the end of the video is there's a difference between what you think men want or the man that you're with who you should really be listening to versus what you think is good for him. You need to listen to men specifically the man who you're dealing with, and give him the type of support that he wants. And it's not always the same thing depending on the man who you're dealing with. That's major game to women out here who just don't get it. But they don't want to listen to that, man. They don't want to drink that coffee. They don't want to listen to what you want. They want to tell you how relationships should be and what they're not going to put up with. And then they want to go on a show and be surprised that they're single. Guys, comment down below, open discussion on this one. Here's another comment from a gentleman here who says, I'll answer it. He says, don't ever confuse the length of a relationship with the strength of the relationship. Well put. Another woman here says, the way Ayanla was working my last nerve here. She obviously don't like her checking the woman who asked the question in the audience and saying, hey, don't start it by saying you allow us to do all these things. Say we do all these things. And why did she do that? Well, allowing means that you somehow tricked her. And what does that do to a woman? It takes away accountability. You could have left that situation. You could have left that relationship if you felt like you weren't getting what you wanted out of it. That's what she was trying to make sure she took, was accountability, which I know is a bitter cup of coffee. Another woman here says, Ayanla is doing great work. She gives tough truths and valuable insight. Another comment here says, he wasn't your person, sis. You wasn't for him. Length does not equal compatibility, this woman says. Another guy responded back to her and says, the problem is she's asking and listening to society, her girlfriends and herself about him. This is it. But not asking and listening to what he needs. Wow, that's true. It's so important that a woman knows what that man needs. You got to figure out what that man you're dealing with needs, not what your girls say he needs, not what people even on a television show say he needs. You need to customize yourself for your man. Here's another comment that says, I don't like the interruption that Ayanla did in this instance. Let her get out what she needs to get out. Initially, she is asking the question. And you guys know these women, they want her to get out what she wants to get out because they can relate to this. They've been played. These women are getting played out here. It's a tough, the dating scene now for post-wall women in today's age is terrible. I can't imagine how hard it is for these elderly women to date. But again, they're the most difficult still, and they have this frustration. That's why they wanted to get it out. How dare you lead me on, right? Let her get it out. No. You didn't get led on. You're a grown woman. You should have set a time frame. If you didn't get what you wanted, you should have left. Another comment here in response to what that chick says, Ayanla did well interrupting her because what the lady was saying wasn't worth listening to. Do you guys think it was worth listening to or not? Here's another comment from another woman that says, because she set boundaries and you didn't. It's not about boundaries. Part of it, it's not just about boundaries, right? Boundaries are a part of it, but it's also about, are you bringing what that man truly wants? Are you truly listening to that man? When he complains and says, you're too argumentative, are you actually fixing that? When he says, hey, I like it when a woman does this and that, are you actually doing that or not? That stuff matters. This next comment is from a woman who agrees with how Ayanla interrupted the woman who asked the question to make sure she took some accountability. She said, laughed emoji, because she definitely about to play the he wasted my time victim role. 400 plus likes. Another person responded back to that woman and says, exactly, when she could have easily walked away. As facts. And this gentleman says, nothing was learned here. You guys think nothing was learned here? And finally, our last comment says, I think best for us women to always put ourselves first. Give him a time frame and cut it if you don't have your ring by then. That's good and all, but with that, are you listening to what these men want? Are you listening to what these men want? It's not just about time frame. It's not about just put yourself first, girl. Are you giving the man who you want what he wants? That's the part here that's often missed. That's the part. Listen, as always, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.